between coach and player. In an ACC Big Ten matchup, a big day of basketball on the Big Ten Network. 5 total games, a doubleheader of women's action, and then 3 men's games here to follow. The tip goes to the Orange. Syracuse with wins against Lafayette, Central Connecticut State, and Coppin State. But they have had blowouts in all 3 of those games, so perhaps this is the game where they get tested here today. Woolley takes the first shot. It's almost like she hasn't missed a beat.
Well, Georgia Woolley's been able to get some execution and some reps in practice. First game action, you're right, she doesn't look rusty at all.
And the block from Isabel Verajao. Faith Masonas, one of the 4 graduate seniors on this team. And again, trying to find continuity. Maryland, as we had mentioned at the top, they beat Harvard, but big losses to South Carolina and UConn coming into today. Got to lick their wounds, and that's one way to do it. Jakia Brown-Turner, one of the transfers.
Maryland coming out in this zone, going to try to force Syracuse to knock down shots, and they've been doing it.
Alyssa Latham, a talented freshman. They've got Sophie Burrows, who I've mentioned, and then Latham, another freshman. And both of them, I mean, Latham's almost averaging a double-double here to begin with for Syracuse.
And Latham's the first top 100 recruit.
Brenda Fries, we mentioned, very top-heavy with this schedule and not shying away from top competition. She said, my team is very prideful. And, you know, she would like more practice time to kind of correct some of the holes that she sees offensively and defensively. But they move ahead to an ACC team here, and then they'll move on to another ranked team after this, Washington State over in Cancun, Mexico. So it sends Shyanne Sellers to the free throw line. And as we had talked about, as we know, from freshman year to sophomore year, and now a 20-point scorer so far here in her junior season. Some pressure coming here from Maryland. See how Syracuse handles it. The double team against Verajao.
I like this look from Maryland, really using their length to extend it 94 feet. Hitting back in transition defense is going to be tough. So how can you slow Syracuse down? But that's exactly what we talked about in the open. Taking care of the basketball, particularly unforced turnovers, but turnovers that lead to scores.
Post touch for Brooks. And another 3-point attempt, knocks it down to your number 2. Or what you like about this team, and she talks about the unity a lot. There's a lot of bandages, a lot of healing that had to come in last year in year number 1. Had some success, a 20-win season for Syracuse last year.
This was a Syracuse program that had a mass exodus in terms of players transferring, and for Coach Jack being able to bring in a number of players, a lot of those mid-major transfers.
We get Jack really the third coach in about 3 years when you talk about kind of the turnover in the head coaching carousel there in the Syracuse world. There's a good shot of her talking to Deasia Fair. Fair had played for her at Buffalo. She actually benched her for the entire first quarter in the last game against Coppin State. And only said it was a coach's decision. Well, all that Deasia Fair did the rest of the game was play 30 minutes, scored 16 points, and those were team highs, both of those categories.
Well, she's such a gifted scorer, and you know she's a player who can play with the ball in her hands. She can play off the ball as well. You have to know where she is, and the greatest thing about Deasia Fair is I think her leadership has continued to improve. She's been more vocal. She's led by example. And being benched and coming out and responding, that's another form of leadership. How do you react to that adversity?
Maryland's had some looks, and some turnovers early have hurt them. Masonas with the latest miss in and around the rim. Reset here for Woolley. Latham rolls with 2 Maryland Terps defenders on her, gets her own miss. She's determined to try to put it back. How about a third opportunity? Wow, persistence.
You've got to be disciplined to the details. You got to find a way to get in position and box out. Force players to have to go around you or over you.
The 3rd turnover here for the Terps. We played 4 minutes here. Fair has yet to take a shot, by the way.
Player who goes to rebound outside of her area, she stays active.
We have a Brisbane native and a Melbourne native. played, her first 3 years at Florida, averaged double figures at Florida. Only averaging 4 points per game and just right on the mark. Did she hear you?
In a different role, too. At Florida, she had the ball in her hands a lot. She had the freedom to play through a lot of different things. And a year ago here at Maryland, she was more of a role player and came in and was like a third or fourth option on the team. Now she's got to be a second option to Shyanne Sellers. And that's one of the expanded roles that Brenda Freeze was talking to us about. Syracuse does a really good job of moving her around and getting her the ball in position to be successful, and she is so active on the offensive glass.
How about that move? That's how good, that's how an elite scorer that she is. Back on the deck, Sellers retains possession.
Instead of really understanding what you're going to do with the ball before you catch it and go into work, and that's one of the areas that Bree McDaniel can help.
As a freshman last year, she averaged about 9.5.
Now it's finding opportunities to gear up with that speed and aggressiveness and gear down.
Syracuse has it. Latham again, the offensive rebound. That's one thing that Syracuse is so good at. Swings it over to Sellers, off balance. Shyanne Sellers just with 2 points. All 2 of those points coming from the free throw line. That's actually her first shot attempt. This will be the first time she shoots the basketball here today. Career average of 22 points per game.
Lisa, you can see every time someone's catching the ball, it's a catch and hold, not a catch and decision. When you're trying to get into an offensive flow, you've got to know, you got to shoot it, you got to drive it, or you got to move it. This is a really good Syracuse defensive team, and if you allow them to reset every time there's a catch, you're not going to get any advantage.
Some man. Sellers well off the mark. And Fair sets her feet, but she misses the three-pointer. Really good accuracy for... Listening to one of the interviews that she did with the local media, she described when she played for the Orange, was diving for a loose ball and chipped her tooth and finished the game even. And so she looked at her players and said, if you don't have the same kind of toughness, you can't play for me. Super prideful. I mean, a Syracuse native too, not only an alum. Got about 90 seconds left to play here in the quarter. An open look that Burroughs can't knock down. Sellers again always looking up and always looking to push the pace. Mid-range jumper short, and she's shoeless. Her shoes at midcourt. Maryland gets the bucket. Kubek with the field goal. Picked it up and threw it to the sideline. Well, you know what? The Terps scored on that last possession, so why not? Now she gets the shoe back. So Maryland right now playing 4 on 5. While Sellers puts her wheel back on. Briggs.
You dribble into that pull-up. It's attacking with better angles, not just around the three-point line, but directly to the rim.
Briggs starts out 2 for 4 here today. Sellers off of the Kubek screen. Gives it back to Kubek. 4-3. How about a quick 9 points and a perfect 3 for 3? She hasn't missed from the field. From the free throw line, from three-point territory, and the rest of the floor. A walking violation.
Time and score right now.
Bree McDaniel brings it up. Oh, look at that. Splits the defense. What a move, but couldn't finish it off. Maryland with a second chance. Brown-Turner had a look.
Oh, you're not going to have another 2 like that. But everybody else has to be able to pick it up 1 or 2 more shots, open shots a game, 1 or 2 more spray out for three-point shot opportunities. But more than anything, decision-making in the half court. How do you make your teammates better? How do you get higher percentage looks?
You feed a transition 3 look like that. Open look for Brown-Turner. Another opportunity. Brown-Turner kicks it back out. Here's Briggs. 4-3. Short. Chases down her own miss. Lavender Briggs.
And look, Maryland's a good offensive rebounding team.
Briggs with 6 points, 3 of 7 shooting. She's taken more shots than anybody else here in this Maryland offense so far. Verajao.
I love the way that Syracuse is making Maryland work on the defensive end of the floor. The ball's going inside out. It's going from one side of the floor to the other. Multiple players are getting touches.
Catch and shoot opportunity for Rice.
Corinne Freeze wants him to push the pace. And see, it's too slow. We're not passing ahead. Nobody running the lanes. Not getting opportunities in transition.
He played 4 minutes here in the second quarter. Verajao. 360-degree turn almost. Here comes Sellers. Vasonas. And a three-point look, in and out. And a jump ball. Tight between the Terps and the Orange. Lily takes it inside, goes Glass, and she's got 8 points. Verajao coming from behind.
Their offensive execution has been really good. They're sharing the basketball, they're playing in flow, playing within themselves, and leading a balanced attack.
Good post up by Wood, kicks it back out, looking for a repost, and pulling the trigger is Rice.
They've gone 9 possessions without scoring. Let's see if they can get one here. That's one you got to take advantage of.
And we've seen a lot of possessions like that.
For this Maryland ball club, as they figure out their offensive identity, is how can you lock in defensively? Their defensive numbers have been a little bit skewed because of the South Carolinas. When 114, they've given up, right? But when offense has been your identity and you're not able to play the same way, you've got to find a way to get defensive stops.
Briggs with an incredible pump fake.
Well, Syracuse has 14 points in the paint, and Doumbouya gives you that size on the interior.
Fair. Oh, that bounced out here so far in the first half. Makes good on both. Post move, not there. Kubek. Doumbouya. How about that? Verajao jump hook. And Sellers out of control. That's an offensive foul. Fair looking to take Sellers off the bounce, perhaps. Off balance shot, not there. Verajao pursuing. It's the loose balls.
Defense has got to become more of an identity. This is not a team that's going to score as easily as they have in the past. So you've got to be able to get defensive stops.
And Maryland, I think, would be the first to tell you they've played below average here in the first half, but you look at the score, they're only trailing by 3. A 3 of 19 shooting. Field goals this quarter for this Maryland offense. Woolley in her season debut, spins, fires, hits, got the front of the rim, and then got it to drop.
This is why Georgia Woolley's in the starting lineup. She gives you another go-to scorer. She's a threat from the three-point line. Shyanne Sellers is contesting. She does a great job of getting to the rim, and that's a tough finish by Woolley.
Mentioned 2 years ago, she played at Buffalo, had 24 starts that year and 34 games played, so she's used to this kind of position. First player now in double figures is Woolley. 11 and 5 of 11 here from the field. Vasonas taking it inside. Vasonas steps in. Hasn't hit a free throw coming into today. Small sample size, 0 for 2. And the three is telling us that maybe Faith Vasonas can take some of the point guard responsibilities off of Shyanne Sellers. Might see more of that usage work with her here today. Four-point advantage here for Syracuse. Woolley spins it, in trouble, looking for help. Here's Fair. Burrows doesn't hesitate. Quick trigger. Offensive rebound by Wilson. And the putback is good. Sanaya Wilson with the field goal. Sellers leaning in the final few seconds. Plays beat the buzzer. Might call a foul as well. So it might be an and one opportunity here for Sellers. Our mics are good, huh?
They are.
We could hear Jesse Dickerson really clearly.
Well, he was projecting well for us. He knows that we have, headsets on.
And we got another shot of your jacket, too, from behind.
Oh, yes.
Jakia Fair, only with 3 points, hasn't hit a field goal. 0 for 4 from the field in the first half. So putting up 38 points without offensive production from their leading scorer. Sellers gets the first look.
Everybody's going to be ready for her attacking the rim, especially attacking the rim hard, going right. I like how they utilized her in the elbow.
Coach Fries had talked about, we mentioned, Masonis even using some more playing time at the point guard spot, taking her off ball maybe a little bit more. There's the first field goal. Jakia Fair.
It looked like a miscommunication defensively for Maryland. They weren't sure if they were going to switch or not. One of the advantages Maryland perimeter players have over Fair is using that length.
Verajal for 3. And a backdoor look and cut. Pump fake. Alexander gets him in the air and draws the foul. Her second one coming in the final few minutes.
She had 3 fouls and she needs to play smart.
They're in the backcourt to get it. Orange with a 1-point advantage. For a set there for Fair, who drops it off to Verajal, who gets the reverse to fall. And Sellers trying to force the issue. Latham brings down the rebound. Latham with 4 rebounds here today. How about that? Takes it the distance, and there it is. 4 personals, 4 fouls. Hadn't scored since the first quarter. And she came out red hot. And so she sits. Sophie Burrows has checked in. Here's Bree McDaniel. Gets some early minutes here in the third quarter, and she draws the foul, just like she did in the first half. McDaniel's first miss here today. McDaniel out of Kenwood Academy, played for Chicago Hoops Express. Makes good on the second. Pressure coming. And Maryland forces a turnover. McDaniel gets tripped. McDaniel shovel pass. That was nice. And the turnover. And McDaniel to take it out. Kubek going off the bounce. Oh, Kubek! Body bucket and 1!
It's evident, and they're going to have to rely heavily on her to be another player that comes in and gives them some buckets.
13 points here for Kubek. First Maryland player in double figures. Now 3 turnovers in the last minute for Cuse going into this possession. And Syracuse playing with a smaller lineup, with Verajal checking out with her 3 personal fouls. Rebound is loose, and Wilson with the cleanup job. Sanaya Wilson averages about 7.5 points this year. Alexander gets a look and sinks the 3-pointer. The 2 for Wilson, back to back. There's some of that outlet pass. And send it back the other way. We got a foul call, though. Not up on the rim. I was going to call on your hops here for a second. They couldn't get it fixed.
They wouldn't have gotten us very far.
Okay, 7 free throw attempts here for the season. And this 3-quarter court pressure. Early in her season debut, draws another foul. But she had been practicing a couple of weeks now with the team.
I think Coach Jack wants to see what her wind is like, what that conditioning is like, and she's been strategic in her substitutions, but Georgia Willie's been impressive. Doesn't look like a player who has yet to play a ball game.
No, not rusty at all. It's a lot of front court players. Daniel maybe approaching a season-high 10 points against South Carolina.
Oh, I love her aggressiveness to the rim. She's making things happen, getting to the foul line, forcing rotations.
Woolley with the three-point attempt. Syracuse has struggled from three-point territory. Look at the hustle, McDaniel.
Position that's being aggressive to the rim, getting to the foul line. And they've done both early in this quarter.
From the Xfinity Center with the WNBA Coach of the Year.
You don't get that VP title for nothing.
Lexi McNabb has checked in for the first time. McNabb, name well known in the Syracuse Parks, and she gets her first assist. Been 14 different lead changes as McDaniel commits her third personal. Like, one team just can't take control of this game. Been very back and forth. 10 ties, 14 lead changes. Really just got done tying her shoe and feeds the post to Wilson. Too strong off the glass. And a foul committed on Wilson. And she ties it at 52.
So making a free throw again will allow Maryland to bring this full court pressure. It's been giving them a little bit of success.
Fair gets an open look.
That's not close enough. It doesn't matter how many shots De'Asia Fair has taken or not made. She can heat up quickly. You cannot give her that much space.
That's her second three-pointer. She's got 9 points here today. Post feed to Kubek. Here comes Fair.
Gotta get up.
And sometimes she's looking to do that. Hit back to back. The first time that she's done that here tonight, or today. The third field goal.
There's got to be more sense of urgency by Lavender Briggs on the defensive end of the floor.
3 at Buffalo to start the career, and again her second year at Syracuse. One of the nation's elite scorers. Sellers walked with it. Woolley pump fake. And Fair lets it fly. Well, she's been shooting. You expect that almost to go in. Another opportunity. Wilson post feed. Over to Wood. And she gets the bucket. Largest lead of the game here for Syracuse, 60-53. Brown-Turner for 3. That's not there. And a jump ball.
We're forcing rotation, making the extra pass. And very stagnant again offensively.
Kubek has been fantastic. 15 points for her. A new season high here today. And a 10-second violation. Sellers as a 6'2" point guard. Over to Masones. McDaniel crosses it over. Shovel pass and another bucket.
It's going to be important for Bri McDaniel to play without fouling because they need her energy on the floor. She is single-handedly making things happen on both ends of the floor.
She does it again. Takes it away from Syracuse. Sellers off the glass for 2. Fair steps it back behind the three-point line. Here comes McDaniel with a key rebound. Has Kubek if she wants to use her. McDaniel feeds Kubek. Off the glass in the Terps.
You know, Faith Masones leads by being vocal. Brene Alexander leads by example.
McDaniel just got poked in the eye, and she's not on this defensive possession. She hasn't crossed midcourt.
Here's that 1-3-1 that Brenda Fries was talking about. Syracuse using it out of the timeout.
Nice. Good ball movement. Alexander can't knock down the 3. 2 of 5 from three-point territory today. Bree McDaniel still in the locker room here for Maryland. The Terps trying to keep this momentum. Fair crosses over this whole Maryland defense. Look who's back again, Bree McDaniel.
Sing it, Lisa.
No,
Karaoke.
You're asking way too much of me. You do. Misplaced expectations as well. But here's part of the value too. Bree McDaniel bringing it up. Shyanne Sellers off ball. And that elbow post up. Turns and faces against the Syracuse defense. Good pump fake and finish. And Maryland's back on. Pressure still coming here from the Terps. Here's Fair. Sitting with 12 points. Most of them coming in the second half. Addition, chemistry and synergy between those two. McDaniel misses. And she goes down on the deck, but pops back up. Q's playing with a little bit of pace here. Fair pulls the trigger. And the ball just finds out to Brown-Turner.
Because even if you don't get anything, you put pressure on the defense. You get them in rotation. They're cross-matched in transition.
Lots to figure out. I love that it creates new roles for all of these people, and Sellers is front and center.
Making sure that you're still guarding the best player on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, that's a lot for one player.
Right, and we might see more of the evolution that Brenda Fries has told us, like a point guard by committee, right?
Yes. The other point guard by committees that are getting them into offense, can get them into the right stuff, can deliver passes, can handle pressure.
Quick crossover, McDaniel all the way to the rack. Fair in and out. Rebound to Briggs.
Another missed opportunity to pass the ball ahead.
McDaniel thought about the three-pointer. That crossover, whoa. I mean, try to stop that. Blocking foul here on Syracuse. Season high with 10 points. She also got against South Carolina.
And using her body to create contact. She's so quick, you got to play her honest.
And drawing attention to it, by the way.
Yes.
Another turnover on the sideline. One triple pull-up. Just short. Sellers gives another chance. McDaniel cross-court pass. Sellers thinks about it. Sees an alley. And Alaina, the kick out to Brown-Turner. Not there. How about another opportunity for the Terps? Vasonis in trouble, double teamed in the corner. Briggs hesitation. Out to McDaniel, she'll take it. She'll cross you over. Vasonis, over to Briggs. Finally for Maryland, they'll take it.
Those were the 50-50 balls Maryland was not getting in the first half. Multiple offensive rebounds, getting the hustle plays, Faith Vasonis saving it. Lavender Briggs on the receiving end.
With very little practice time. They got to try to figure it out in games right now.
She can go through it perfectly against the scout team. But you really have to find out.
No, that was great. You did a great job. I don't compliment you offense, so take them while they come, okay? Sellers out of that timeout.
Daniel, you need her on the floor. You need her energy. You need her ability to create for herself and I think good teaching opportunities. And also, that's a momentum play. Like, you can sense Maryland gaining momentum. Well, every year it seems like she has a magic hat, and she pulls them together. And I think for this group in particular, it's each one of them finding their way with one another on the floor. It's building that chemistry, building that continuity, and that confidence.
Good hesitation move. Off of the loose ball, a dive for it. And Syracuse picks it up. Parrish out for three. She's determined. And her persistence paying off. Her first three-point make of the season.
Yep, got the mismatch.
Sellers jab step. Makes it 15 feet out to the right side. Looky what I found. It's been that kind of day for Kubek. How about a 21-point day? What a great story she is. First year at Maryland, last year tore her ACL, so didn't play a second last year as a transfer out of Towson. Willie has all the time in the world. This is the shot, rebound by Rice. Loose ball, Kubek comes up with it, and there's a tie-up.
And now Syracuse bringing the pressure. I like this move by Coach Jack. Force Maryland to handle with pressure, to make decisions.
Good decision there by Brown-Turner. She's got 4 personals. Megan McEwen will have the call for that one. Lead is 7. Largest lead for Maryland have been 8. Syracuse, do they have one more swing in them? Air ball from Fair. And offensive rebound by Latham. What do we got? Blocking foul.
Athleticism, her ability to score in traffic. Offensive rebound.
So you think she's been sitting from 7:35 until now. As a freshman, I mean, that's a long time to sit, wait, and watch.
Well, and remember that a couple of possessions before that, she picked up her 3rd, and Coach Jack challenged her to be able to play without fouling.
She got to be careful there. I appreciate the aggressiveness defensively. But I'm sure Syracuse wants to keep her in the game. Ooh, what a pass! Oh, what a pass! A beauty! Sellers to Kubek. Towson, she put up 28 points. For her 23 that she's put up today is the most that she's scored wearing a Maryland uniform.
You get a score, you've got to be able to get a stop. You don't want to put Syracuse to the foul line. They're in the penalty.
And the Terps trying to protect the lead. McDaniel turns it over. Fair picks her off and pulls up inside the lane. Putback is good for Latham. .11 seconds on the shot clock. Sellers takes it inside. Showtime. Sellers trying to take over. She's got 19.
She's just got such good body control. Didn't over-penetrate right there. Was able to shoot that float game. And Georgia Woolley with the answer.
I can't believe this is her season debut. She looks fantastic.
She sure does.
And dealing with an upper body preseason injury. This is her first game back. Coach Jack put her in the starting lineup. And Woolley is the leading scorer for Syracuse with 21 points. Final few seconds. Sellers gets tripped up. Maryland has a couple timeouts if they want to use it. Brown-Turner uses every part of the rim. A big bucket for the Terps. Three-point attempt. It's good. Alaina Rice for 3. And Maryland looking to get back in the win column. Get back to 500 overall. Big losses to South Carolina and UConn. McDaniel. And arguably one of the MVPs here for Maryland. Maryland calls a timeout.
And now no timeouts. Maryland's got to get it in bounds.
It's down to the wire in the final few seconds here in College Park. Sellers over to Brown-Turner.
They're going to have to foul at some point.
Double team coming. It'll stay Terps basketball. That was close, though. They're going to review it. So this possession under review. Now remember, the call on the floor is Maryland basketball. Oh, what do you think? So Woolley will be the one to take it out. You got shooters on the floor with Burrows and Fair.
Rice has knocked down a couple of threes.
Yeah, Rice is 2 for 2 from 3. She comes up to get it. Woolley coming around the double screen. Trying to find Burrows. Rice is in trouble. Maryland locks him up. And isn't that fitting?